What's up, guys? This is Leviathan Kraken here, and so I decided to make a video where I was talking about a few things that I would like to change about Subnautica Below Zero. Now, these are mostly, some of them are my ideas, but most of these are ideas, a lot of common complaints that I'm seeing on Subnautica Facebook groups, different chats, a lot of different random posts on the internet, and a lot of them are very common complaints. Now, I want to be very clear, Subnautica Below Zero is quite possibly my favorite game. The developers have poured a lot of attention and detail into this game. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I love playing it. But, that's why I'm discussing this kind of thing, because I want to talk about a few things that if I had the ability to, I would change. And I'm making this video because maybe the developers might see it and decide to change a few things last minute. I know it's about to be released soon, so I'm probably late to the party, but I'm going to get into it. Number one, okay, the Lillypads. Now, the Lillypad biome is beautiful. It looks amazing. The details are great, but come on, guys, let's be honest. Lillypads in a Arctic region, I don't see it. Like even when I'm standing over the lily pads, it just does not look like it matches the terrain. Now, I did a little bit of research. It says that the coldest a lily pad can survive is considered zone 4, which, the coldest temperature that they could survive would be at -30, which is surprising to me, but they do go into a dormancy phase. Now, you can say, well, okay, this is an alien planet. This is a completely different species. But, if I were determined to put lily pads in an Arctic region, I would at least make the lily pads a different color. Blue, purple, maybe even a different shade of red. I'm not seeing it, Now, if I know that it's way too late for this to ever happen, but I was looking at some of the biomes in the first Subnautica game, and the bulb zone, I feel like, should have been swapped with the Lillypad biome. The Lillypad biome should have been in Subnautica 1, and that bulb zone could have been in Below Zero, and that would have been amazing. That would have fit. It would have, really matched. So that's something, that was just, I think that's my main complaint about Below Zero, is just the lily pads being in that cold region. Number 2, okay, so the Shadow Leviathans, I really feel like they haven't quite met their full potential. Now, as far as his design, it's amazing, it's creepy looking, and it's quite possibly my favorite Leviathan of all time. I really do think it's a great name. It looks cool. But he has a lot of legs, kind of like a centipede. He looks a little bit like an insect to me. I think it would have been a really great idea if he was crawling on the walls like an insect and had a really good jump scare to where he could launch himself towards you and you not even see him coming, because he's crawling, like maybe upside down or on the walls. A lot of people are, especially in group chats, like I said, Facebook groups, they're saying that the Shadow Leviathan is just not scary because you don't have a lot of room to move around in the crystal caves. And so, your sea truck is already slow as can be. So by the time that you've beat the game, you've probably seen the cinematic of the Shadow Leviathan attacking your sea truck probably at least 30 times. You have to get out, repair your sea truck, rinse, repeat, and yeah, he might have been scary at first, but by the time the game is over with, you're just going to find him annoying, and it's no longer going to be that scare factor that the Shadow Leviathan really needs to have. Number 3. Now, the ice worms. I'm really disappointed that they're actually limited to one area. I feel like it would have been really nice if the ice worms could have been inside of some of the giant icebergs in different locations. And it would have been really cool if you were swimming and then all of a sudden this ice worm just jumps out of the iceberg and attacks you while you're in the water. Because there are some giant icebergs they could have lived in. And it would be really cool to see them actually swimming through the water to hunt for more prey and go from one iceberg to the next instead of just being located in just that one little spot. I think that would have definitely added to their fear factor. You would definitely have a lot more to fear if you're like, okay, there could be an ice worm anywhere instead of just this one area where I'm expecting to see them. All right, number 4. Okay, now this is a bit of my opinion, I'm going to admit, but hear me out, and I would love to hear your opinions. Now, the Leviathans in Subnautica Below Zero, I don't really feel like a couple of them are actually Leviathans, and the ice worm in particular, he's clearly not swimming through water. Now, you could debate that he is moving through ice, which is water, but he's still a land-dwelling creature. So wouldn't a land-dwelling creature technically be considered Titan class instead of Leviathan class? Think about that. The same thing with the frozen Leviathan. He's a bit similar to an alligator, which is a semi-aquatic creature. So can you really call that a Leviathan? That was my thought on that one. Some of the Leviathans in Subnautica Below Zero in general are a bit lacking. Like, I mean, they look amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love them, but I would love a little bit more. I was disappointed that we didn't get the ice dragon, yes, and the kite wing I know was canceled. So you think about all the Leviathans in Subnautica. You got the Reaper, the Ghost Leviathan, the Sea Dragon, the Emperor, and then you've got others, the Sea Treaders, the Reefback. You've got all those Leviathans, and then when you go to Below Zero, there's not quite as many. So I feel like, you know, it would have been nicer to have just a little bit more. And finally, my last topic, number 5. A lot of people have complained about the fact that the hive mind is, well, it's just a fauna. It's, you know, whenever you think of the word hive mind, you think, oh wow, this is going to be really interesting. What is this? It's a fauna that changes colors when you approach it. And I mean, it just would have been nice if it would have tied into the storyline, been some kind of really crazy invasive species, some kind of alien that landed onto the planet and started taking over, you know, something, a little twist added to the storyline that it could have tied in with. I think that would have been great. It didn't quite meet its full potential, in my opinion, and neither did a few of the Leviathans. But, you know, I mean, overall, this is still one of the best games out there, in my opinion, and I highly recommend it. And these are just a few things that I would change if I could, so I thought I would bring these up and see what you guys' opinion is on it. And so just let me know. I'd love to hear it in the comments. Peace.